Hey, everybody, welcome back to Morning Talk with Paul and Mike. I'm going to say Paul first this time because it is Paul's 61st birthday today. So we want to wish you a very happy birthday. I asked Paul before we went on, I said, so what did you do for your birthday today? And he goes, same thing I've done every year. I've done absolutely nothing. And I forgot to turn down the sound. There we go. One thing I forgot to do. But we want to wish you a very, very happy birthday. I know you got called by your daughter early this morning. So.
There's more birthday wishes coming through.
Or is there? Okay.
Yeah, me home. It's all right.
So Terrie did the AI background picture for the thumbnail. And of course, Paul had to bitch about that first thing this morning on his birthday. He goes, I ain't got no hair on the sides. Obviously, you've never gone to a state fair where someone does a caricature. What is it called? A caricature?
Yeah, caricature.
Caricature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what Terrie did with you. She made you look a little bit younger with all your gray hairness.
I admit I'm an old fart and I don't give a fuck who knows it.
and that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. I got my my Medicare card. I've been inundated by AARP. So now you know you're old when everybody's getting you. And the only reason I signed up for Medicare was they said if you don't sign up for Medicare, then you're gonna incur charges for not registering for it. I said, well, son of a bitch. I said,
I knew I was old in April.
Yeah.
I knew I was old in April when they started my army pension.
Yeah. But guys, if you want to come up and wish Paul a happy birthday, I pinned the link to the top. Please hit that. Come on up. Let's wish Paul a happy birthday. And if nobody comes up, then, that's how much you're loved, Paul.
I know how much I'm loved because everybody says hello to me. And some people even run from me.
Yeah, I sent a post out about 45 minutes out. Somebody contacted me, said, hey, could you send it a little bit farther out than 15 minutes before you go live? I said, yeah. So I did it 45 minutes today. So
there's my favorite
Tamara liked the thumbnail. Tamara liked the thumbnail.
Yeah. And there's my favorite Karen.
Is she? Oh. Oh, that's not you. Where is she? There she is. Karen Brass. Good morning to you. Hey, there's Penny Ortiz.
Oh, Wendy, you're so thoughtful. But you can come up. I wouldn't mind seeing you in the rough.
Yeah. There's Penny. Roadkill Ron's here. Saying hello.
I never mind seeing any girl in the rough.
There is Wendy over at Hardknack Farms. Remember, she goes live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I try not to miss that one. And there's our friend Rebecca Touched by Yarn.
There's Jody doing her thing. 5 gifted memberships.
There's Jovita Navarro. Welcome in. I'm going back up slowly. What's that?
When he says, I promise I am scary, I was up in the wee hours cleaning our home and unpacking Christmas.
Nah. This is how I look when I wake up. Except I brush my teeth because, that'll kill somebody in the morning. That's why I like watching. When I watch movies, when they wake up and they start kissing as soon as they wake up. I said, that ain't real.
No.
And let's see. There's Ray Castile. And I know.
If Ray's in, Barbara's in.
She's here somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I've already seen her. She is here.
Oh, see, look at that. She wanted to take the time out to say happy birthday to you, Paul.
I know. I've seen them. I've replied to them all.
Yeah.
Except.
There's Barbara. And you wish you were 16.
I don't.
So
I don't.
So what does that mean? You told me earlier that once you hit 50 every year, you reverse the numbers.
You swap the numbers until you hit the 55. Well, I do the same as my 60s. So I'm 26 next year.
Yeah. You'll be 26 next year. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't know. I guess 2016 is an important birth date in the States. You get a driver's license. 21 is a significant date because you get to legally drink. Not that you weren't drinking before, but you get to legally drink in the States.
I was drinking in pubs at 14.
I guess 25 and then 30. I read somewhere that 30 is one of the most depressing ages. For young people, you're out of your 20s, and now you've hit that ugly number 30. I wish I was 30 right now. I would have changed a lot of things. Well, I'd love to be 30 and know then what I know now, because I would have changed a lot of stuff in my life.
I can honestly say I would not want to change anything.
Really? Nothing?
If I went back and started in time and started changing my life, I wouldn't be where I am now. You change anything in your past, you go in a different way.
Well, for some people, wouldn't that be a good thing?
For me, did that. I mean, I could say I'd like to go back and change how things went between me and my first wife.
Yeah.
If I did that, we wouldn't have split up. I wouldn't have met my second wife. I wouldn't have my daughter.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have my granddaughter.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I wouldn't change a fucking thing.
Really? And there's Tony at our cabin in the woods. Hope his recovery is going well. There's Miss Arlene saying
And
happy birthday,
Charlene Gray.
Paul. There's Jody Young.
Yes.
And there's her 5 gift memberships. Thank you so much, Jody.
Every time she comes in.
And I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. I promise I'm scary. I was up all night home and unpacking Christmas stuff. Yeah, we haven't even brought the Christmas tree down to even set up.
I don't do Christmas decorations.
And Terry's usually good about that. I mean, of course, she's in recovery, but she's always good about it. Right after Thanksgiving, especially if Brittany's here for Thanksgiving, that tree goes up and those 2 OCD people start working on the Christmas tree.
I do not do decorations. I stopped doing decorations for my place when my ex moved out with the kids.
Did I miss Treasure Hunter Neil?
I haven't seen him.
Huh. Wow. So let's see.
Are you going by the memberships from Jody?
Have I?
I'm saying, are you going by the memberships from Jody when you are asking if you've seen if you missed Neil?
Yeah, I haven't seen Neil yet.
No, I haven't seen him in. But if you're going by the memberships, the people that got the memberships, they don't have to be in here to receive them. So long as they're subscribed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I've noticed that a few times.
And there is Charlene Grady. Charlene Grady was last Wednesday. She was our channel of the day. We said hello. I know she doesn't have videos up or anything, but we did want to celebrate her being a member or a subscriber to our channel. She's been with us since we began. I think she got on YouTube in August of 2021. We started on February 8th of 2021. We put up our first video then. Yeah, she's been with us for a while, and we appreciate her. So, Paul, I am feeding and cleaning out all my horse stalls right now.
But I do want to wish you a happy birthday.
Yes. Well, my question is what kind of horses do you have? And because
Do they taste good?
No. I used to raise and breed horses for a living after I got out of the military. So Paul's doing coke on his birthday. Oh, and Rebecca's going to be 46 this year.
Yes. She's going mamas.
There's a happy birthday from Jody to you. You've seen that. Yeah, what is this? Is it when people reach a certain age they tend to say, oh, 40 is the new 30 or 60 is the new 40. I wish somebody would tell my body that. Because my body feels exactly 64, going on 65.
My body feels like it's fucked.
There you go. Yeah, 30 was good, but I still know how to party.
After 30, you don't know how to party no more. And I don't care who says they do, because they just can't stay up as long.
Charlene turned 71 on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Well, that's another thing to be thankful for every year during Thanksgiving. Jamie saying happy birthday, Sir Paul.
I seen, I said thank you. Charlene also, like myself, had another reason to be thankful this year.
Why
because
is that?
just before Thanksgiving, she had another great granddaughter.
Yeah. Yeah. See, Paul, you're still a young guy.
I'm young at heart and stupid in the head.
There you go. Yeah, I guess I tend to agree. If you make any changes, it's kind of like if I would have gone to college instead of joined the Army, who knows where you'd be right now? I wouldn't have had my sons. I wouldn't have, traveled the world. All kinds of stuff would have not happened if I would have done that. But who knows? Maybe I'd have gone to college and said, "Man, screw this," and then joined the Army. But who knows where you'd have been?
Yeah.
So, or where you'd end up.
I was thinking about the Army the other day, and I saw more of the world when I was a kid following me dad than I did when I was in the Army.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Germany the only place you went?
No, I went to Germany, Canada, and Belfast.
Which one did you like the most?
Definitely Canada.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Why Canada?
Because Banff wasn't that bad. I was a specialist in so many things.
Yeah.
I could be sent on any. If they were short for any particular role, they'd send me. While I was there, they gave me a temporary rise in temporary promotion, and I could have stayed in Canada. When the manoeuvres finished, we went to what they called adventure training. Adventure training. Yeah. They sent us to Banff. Banff is now one of Canada's main tourist distributions for skiing, ski lodges, and mountaineering. I got all that, and I didn't have to pay a penny. We went canoeing down the Medicine Hat River. I point blank refused to get in the canoe after the third day.
Yeah.
I said, well, the vehicles have gone back to camp. what are you going to do for the rest of the week? I'll find something I'm useful at. She says, well, what do you mean? I said, well, every time we get to where we're going for the night, we have to set up camp. I'll go with the vehicles, and I can guarantee camp will be set up.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. I'd get there, I'd get the axe out, and I'd start chopping the firewood. Before they got there, I had literally cut what they call a cord of firewood.
Yeah.
8 foot long, 4 foot wide, 4 foot tall.
Yeah.
The chefs used to moan every time we stopped because they'd have to cut the firewood.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, the chef should not be the one cutting the bloody wood.
Yeah.
I still had a fantastic week.
Well, I mean, I think my favorite while I was in the Army was Germany because I did so much traveling when I was over there.
Oh,
I
yeah,
drank.
me too.
A lot of people don't know this, but it's like every larger town or region has its own beer. There's so many different types of breweries in Germany that I don't think in a lifetime you could drink every beer that's made in the country of Germany.
You can't.
You can't. I tried.
Oh, the Germans still try.
Oh yeah. I mean I gave it the old American try. And one of the things we did in Germany was when you went to a bar, wherever you were, you tried to sneak out one of their drinking glasses.
Yeah.
That's all that was in my house was, beer steins or, like the boots or the glasses with their beer label on it. I had dozens upon dozens of different beer mugs, and like you go up to St. Pauli Brewery and you can drink for free, so you don't have to spend so much money when you go out. St. Pauli girl or St. Pauli girl. That's probably one of my favorite beers in Germany. Hey, Jason over at Okies Eat, welcome in. Glad you're here. But yeah, Germany was probably my favorite place to live. It helped that I took German in high school. Didn't do well, but the young ladies in Germany helped me with my German. And then I married a German. Of course, I learned a lot of German from her.
Hey, Minnie's in.
Jody says she had her house decorated for Christmas before Thanksgiving.
That's disgusting, Jody.
A lot of people get into it. It makes them feel good.
I've seen people over here have decorations up before Halloween.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And I think that's disgusting.
Oh, your birthday's on December 5th.
Yes, that's very nice to know, Penny. Okay, I've just had Jamie ask what did I get as a treat for my birthday? I got taken out for a meal with my daughter, her partner, and my granddaughter, and we all went for a steak dinner. We had 2 hours in that restaurant, and I can tell you now, It's 2 hours I will never regret.
Hello, Karen, and good morning to you.
Yes, I said it.
There's Amy over at Leonard Mountain Homestead.
Yes, Jamie, it was a 2-ounce sirloin steak.
2 ounce?
2-inch. Sorry.
Oh, 2 inch.
Oh, yeah. It was about that big.
Oh my God.
It defeated my daughter, and that's the first time a steak's ever done that.
If beef is so becoming very expensive in the States, what is beef running over there in England?
Well, I can tell you now, those, you're right there, Charlene, there's nothing better than family time. I can tell you now, those same steaks in my local supermarket are £14 each. That's about $18, $19.
For how big of a steak?
It's a 12-ounce steak.
Well, it really depends on what cut of meat it is. If it's a sirloin, I can understand that.
I'm talking about a sirloin.
Yeah. New York strip, 12-ounce New York strip. But when you start getting into like porterhouses and T-bones and filet mignon,
that's when it goes up through the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, last time I took them out for dinner, Richie, my daughter's partner, he ordered mignon. It came back. It was literally like that.
Yeah.
And about that thick. And I turned around and says, "Did you order that?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "But they're getting smaller." I said, "Next time, try a sirloin."
Well, we went to Australia, and I wanted to try Wagyu, called Wagyu beef.
Wagyu beef.
That they raised down there in Australia. Went to the restaurant, and I got 3 medallions. They were about this big a piece, and 3 of those.
Yeah.
Cost me $54 US.
Hey, Tanya and Tim.
I said, well, I did it. I will never eat anything like that expensive again. And Penny raises quarter horses. And I had 11 quarter horse studs and 1 paint stud. And the only reason I had the paint stud, he was black and white paint stud with ice white eyes. They weren't blue, they were white. And he was a homozygous stud horse, which means you could breed him with any mare and it's going to turn out black and white. So I kept him around because some people like color on their horses and some people don't. I always say the more color you have in a horse, the dumber the horse is. So, because you're inbreeding them from the original.
I say that about some politicians.
I will tell you that I do love a good chestnut quarter horse. I had one of those.
I like a chestnut horse with a dash of white on it.
Yeah. And then, of course, I had a buckskin. He was my riding horse, go on trail rides and stuff like that. His name was Whiskey Pete. But Whiskey Pete was, his grandfather was a horse called Impressive, and he had that spinal trait in his DNA, and I had to geld him in order to register him with Quarter Horse Association. So, and Impressive was one beautiful show horse, but that was his trait, so you have to geld him in order to register him. Oh, I'm in my 40s. Notice how she didn't say what part of the 40s she's in.
She's only 34.
She goes, I'm in my 40s.
Yeah, she's 34. I'm doing my maths. She's actually 43.
Okay. Let's see. My rich uncle said, I will send you to Hawaii with an allowance. If you will go to college, go any place you want. Don't get married at 19. I got married.
She couldn't wait for another year.
Yeah.
Jamie wants to know if you've had any ice or snow.
No ice, no snow. It was 39 degrees this morning. Or no. Yeah, 39 degrees this morning here in Oklahoma. I think as you go north, they're getting worse weather, worser.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worser. It is currently 39 degrees. 38 degrees, I'm sorry. 38, 10 o'clock should be 39, and 39 is the high for the day.
It's 51 here.
Yeah. It'll warm up through the week a little bit more, but not by much.
Penny's going to have to start doing
At least the
videos.
wind's not blowing this morning. It'd be a lot colder if the wind was blowing. Terrie's up.
Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning, Paul. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much, my dear.
There's our friend Minnie Cactus out of Tucson area. There's Eric and Tina over at Rainy Ridge. Good to see you guys.
And Jonesy's trying to rub it into you a lot. He was at the beach yesterday.
Who was?
Jonesy, Radio Jonesy.
Oh yeah, well he's down in Tasmania. It's the beginning of the summer down there. I always tell people when we flew into Sydney, Australia, as we were landing, I could look out the window and there's this gigantic billboard of Santa Claus in a tank top, beach shorts, his boots, sunglasses on, saying, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, welcome to Sydney. I said, man.
Mike, I'm going to say this now because you're going to miss it for about 10 minutes. Karen Breast, I hope you have a fantastic day. Stay safe and have a good week. She's going to help decorate the community room.
Oh, okay. I pray for steak money. you do not eat steaks? Wow. Not a big steak eater, huh? There's Dana Mason.
I love those bits on a sirloin. If it's been cooked right, they've still got a bit of fat in it. And when you put it in your mouth, it just pops. That to me is a well cooked steak.
Yeah. I had a steak one time.
Rare.
I've had steak I had a steak in Indianapolis, and it was a 34-ounce porterhouse steak, and it was aged 28 days. And I thought that was the best steak. It was at a place called St. Elmo's Fire and Steakhouse in Indianapolis. And I said, man, this is the holy grail of steaks. And then the company I was working for at the time, that's after I got out of the military, I was a federal contractor. And we had our HR meeting every year in Vegas. And that's where the company was headquartered at. And the company would fly everybody in the company there to do all your training, all that kind of stuff. Do your update for your health insurance, all that stuff. And we would spend 3 days there in Vegas. Well, they took us upstairs. We stayed at the Harrah's Casino. And we went upstairs to a restaurant called The Range, Range, The Range. It had one elevator going to the top. It was a gold-looking elevator, brass, gold. And you had to hit the button, talk to the lady upstairs, and you had to give her your reservation number. And then they would send the elevator down and you could get in it and come up. We went up there, and that steak, you could eat it with a spoon. That's how tender it was. And when you ate it, it was like it was melting in your mouth. That's how good it was. So that is the best steak I've ever had. In fact, and it was a T-bone steak. In fact, the waiter, because it was a fancy restaurant, had to put on a shirt with a collar and had to wear a tie to go into the restaurant. The waiter came over, he had the pitcher of water, and he leaned into me and he said, "Sir, could you please not eat with your hands?" Because that steak was so good. I picked up the bone and I was gnawing on it like a dog, right? And he goes like this and hands me a little bag, and inside is like a little carrying thing, you put your food in. And he goes, "You can take that to your room if you want to." I felt so countrified. But hey, that's what you do, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't pay for the meal, but, and so I'm putting it in there, and I had a lady on this side and a guy on this side of me, and she goes, "Do you want my bone too?" I took it.
Yeah.
So I said, man,
you cannot get all the meat off the bone with a knife.
You got to get in those little corners for that good stuff.
What do you think I still got in front too?
Oh, what was that? Good morning, everyone. And we get a whole tenderloin at Sam's. Oh, yeah.
Good size fillet steaks, and they are good.
Yeah. There's Jonesy.
He got to you, Jonesy. I knew
He's
he would.
enjoying the summer weather down there in Tasmania.
Yeah, he's getting lazy with his fat fingers, though.
Well, they have, Walmart has, and I didn't know this for the longest time, but they have the way they package their meats. They have their steaks that, you can barely afford steaks. And then they have another level of steaks that is, you're a steak lover and you can afford this level. And then they got that prime.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not the prime guy,
I'm surprised because you've got some prime rump at home.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I can get full going to McDonald's and
He missed it, Terry.
And getting a $9 meal. I'm full.
Yeah.
Or I can spend $50 on a steak and I get just as full as I did with that. So we don't eat steak every single day. I mean, it's like maybe once a month or whatever. We'll enjoy that. Terry, she's the barbecuer. She'll take it out on the grill and do it upright. So it's just below medium rare for me. She likes hers, she likes to knock the horns off, wipe its ass, and throw it on a plate. Terry likes that stuff bloody. But it's, it makes it, I guess, because it's so expensive, it's okay. When you do eat steak, it's a very, very special and emotional time for me.
Drifting Dreamers 5 just come in.
All right. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am so far behind in the chat, it's sickening. I get that.
You missed what I said. I said you've got good rump at home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She's
Terry,
in the chat. She's in the
Terry for
room.
me would be up there on the prime cuts of beef.
That's when I said it.
Yep. Ah, my barrel racing horse is a buckskin. Yep. Three little goats. Hey, welcome in. It's 28 degrees in northern Arkansas. So that's going up there towards Jason and Tara. Getting cold up there.
Jonesy says once a week we eat wallaby steaks.
Wallaby steaks?
Yeah. You know what a wallaby is, don't you?
I know what a wallaby is, yeah.
A small marsupial.
Yeah. 36 down the Mississippi.
And Tony says, Mike, tell Terry go Pats.
Go what?
Go Pats.
Oh, go Pats. Hey, they play tonight. They play Monday Night Football tonight. Good morning, Wanda. Good to see you. Hey, there's Merns Pacquiao.
Yes.
Merns, it's Paul's birthday today. He is a blistering 16 years old today. A Scotch fillet? What's a Scotch fillet? Is that a steak marinated in Scotch whiskey?
Oh, don't. I'd come off the wagon for that.
Yeah. Medium rare, that's mine. Got to have that little strip of pink through the middle. But I do like the outside, the fat and stuff like that, charred. The charred fat just makes it even better for me. Hey, Philip W. Ryder. Welcome in. I'm going to get there, guys. I'm scrolling. Yeah, they're not as thick cut as the Sam's brand, even though it's the same store. But T-bone is Wanda's favorite.
I've had most steaks, and I can honestly say a well-cooked sirloin is, for me, the best.
Yeah. Now, if I go to a restaurant and you're paying and you say, hey, anything, whatever, get anything on the menu, and I see a porterhouse steak sitting there, yeah.
I've never had
to ask me out again after that. Because
Yeah.
I'll get down and dirty with the porterhouse steak.
Yeah, well, thankfully, the restaurant we go to doesn't do porterhouses, and it doesn't do Wagyu either. Because if it did, your Wagyu would be about that big. They keep their meal prices down to about £25.
Yeah,
per person.
Penny's the same as you, Terry. Put it long enough on the grill, slap it on its ass so it goes moo one last time, and then take it off.
Penny, does that include your men?
Yeah. Terry goes, yeah. Terry gets done. She looked like a vampire who just got done feeding. That's how she likes her steak. And good morning.
I got called an animal because I used to eat my steaks rare.
Yeah.
So I started getting a medium rare, and I enjoy it just as much. So long as the blood still comes out of it when you're cooking it, I'm happy.
I will tell you, I had the sea bass when we went out to dinner for Terry's birthday, when we went to Freedom Weekend in Memphis. And I will tell you, the only thing that would make that sea bass taste even better would be like a small 8-ounce filet mignon with it. Man, that'd have been the perfect surf and turf. But yeah, that sea bass was really good. Yeah. T-bone. I can get into a T-bone.
Dreaming with Drifters wants to know, Radio Jonesy, is kangaroo a thing? If so, is it good? He wants to know if you do eat kangaroo. And I can tell you now, the Aussies do.
Well, they do hunt. You can get a license to hunt kangaroo.
Yeah.
I learned that when I was down there. But I'm speaking for Australia. I'm probably the same over in Tasmania.
Yeah, but if you're going to hunt something, isn't it for food?
You got to look at people that go on these African safaris. They usually go over there, and when you go over there, you sign up and pay for a certain package of a hunt.
Yeah.
You know, you could say, I want to go on a four-horned hunt, meaning animals with horns, and then they will do the mount for you. And usually, a guy who's been over there told me that all the meat from those animals is donated or given to like tribes and places like that need the meat. So I don't know if
Jonesy
it's always true, but that's what he said.
Yeah, Jonesy had to Google it. Americans call Scotch fillet a ribeye steak. Scotch fillet is the term used in Australia and New Zealand for a boneless cut with the rib section of the cow. And Penny didn't answer my question if she likes her men the same way she likes her steak.
Penny's probably already on the side by side, but hey,
yeah,
there's Ben's over acres. I'm gonna get down there. I always wanted to go to Tasmania. Ooh, portobello mushrooms are good on a steak. Yes.
I agree. I'm not into sport hunting. If I was to hunt something, it would be for food.
Yeah.
Although saying that, Texas has a real problem at the minute.
Yeah, they got a lot of exotic animals that have gotten loose out of these game preserves. There's a lot of, because I think it was Jared that they were hunting some kind of freaking animal down there that's now gone wild, and it's some exotic big, I don't know what he called them, but
I was talking about the boars, the wild pigs.
Boars. I mean, you gotta. I shot one back here, but when I flipped him over, he had boils underneath his armpits. So
I don't flip him over.
I gutted him because he was in there. He was tearing up everything inside the chicken run, and I said, "Man, I put that thing in the freezer." As soon as I flipped that boy over and I seen them boils, I said, because it was summertime, and I gutted him out and put him out in the field, and the buzzards and the animals fed on him.
Yeah. I want to know what Tony means by there is a lot of hogs that need to go.
The feral hogs?
Oh, hogs. He says hogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Jonesy says, but in Tassie, we eat more wallaby because there are millions of them here. They're like rabbits. They're pests.
Oh, yeah. You can eat wild feral hogs. You can eat the hell out of them. It depends on the time of the year that you're, like the fall. Fall's a good time. Okay. The spring's a good time. The summertime, dude, I just me personally, you might have to go through a couple of hogs till you find one that's clean. Wow. Tassie, there are wallabies because there's millions of them. They're like rabbits. Yeah.
I just read that out to you.
I know.
I'm going to change my name to Terry so you don't get confused.
I made it to the bottom now.
Nearly. There's only 3 more below you. Yes, Terry, I know I'm picking on him.
That's all right.
He needs it.
It's your birthday. I'm letting you get away with it. It's So here's a question for you, Paul.
Don't worry about
And
that.
people want to know this. Where
Go
were
ahead.
you born in England?
I was born in Aldershot.
Who?
Aldershot.
The hell is that?
It's a military town.
Oh, older shot?
Yes.
Older shot. Okay.
Are you trying to steal my identity? Because I'm not
No,
worth it.
I mean, for us, we probably, we know London, we know Yorkshire.
Right. Well, you know where London is?
I know where London is.
Well, if you go west 54 miles and south towards Portsmouth about 18 miles, you'll come across a village called Aldershot. Oh, it used to be a village. Now it's a fucking big town.
Oh, really?
It's also where the British military now, anytime they're sending people out abroad in the army, units, and they're sending them with their machines. That's where they meet up. They've actually closed 3 military camps that were always there, and taken away the accommodation that were provided for them camps, and leveled it into one big car park for the wagons and everything. And then when they're all there, they go to Portsmouth, get loaded onto the ships, and off they go.
So you were an army brat?
I was.
Okay. So that's why you were there. Your dad was in the army?
Dad was in the paratroopers.
Okay. So is that army?
It's classed as army, but they're like your Marines.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, when they did the Falklands after Argentina invaded it, they actually landed by ship and helicopter and did they did most of the walking.
The Falklands, they belong to the British Empire, right?
Yep. And
Are
still
you
do.
guys really an empire anymore?
We're called the Commonwealth now.
Now you're called the Commonwealth. It's more appealing than the empire.
Well, you know what the saying is? Empires are run by emperors. Countries are run by take your own.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Can you think back on the best birthday you ever had?
No.
Oh, here comes the smoke and fire, guys. He's thinking.
To me, I was actually working. I was 90. It was in 95. It was in 95. I was in Germany in the army. And I'd been put in charge of the exercise I was on for my section of it. Come on, Mike. At Paul's age, he's got a lot to remember. Anything like that. Thanks, Ed. But yeah, that's the one. And they turned around and told me the lads found out I was it was my birthday. And I turned around and I says, what are you going to do? I says, it's a fucking work day. We're going to work. Well, you can have the day off. I says, no. I says, I can't have the day off. The bloke in charge has to be there. And I turned around and said, we're going down to work. We're going to put a Land Rover on the back of that wagon. We're going to send that wagon back to camp because the NCO that was in charge had been injured. And I just had word from my squadron that I was going to be taken over. So I literally sent the useless shit back to camp with the Land Rover that the NCO was supposed to use, because all I was going to be using was the lorry. We were doing ammunitions runs for tanks and howitzers. And that, to me, was a good day.
Paul, I'm going to say this with all the respect in the world, but holy shit, that is your best birthday? Working
Yep.
in the Army?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. That's good memories.
What was your worst birthday? Getting out of the Army? What the?
It was the first one after I was kicked out. Yes, it was the first one after. It was the first one after they asked me to leave.
How many birthdays did you have in your life where you weren't around family? Most of your birthdays? Now we're talking about once you turned 18 and you were an adult. Yeah.
Most of them.
Most of them you weren't at home or with family?
No.
You spent it with whoever was around you? Like
I
Big
spent
Mike?
it on my own.
Like Big Mike and 27 other people in here?
This is most people I've had around me for my birthday.
There you go. There you go.
I was.
Hey, there's Scrubby the Beagle. Welcome in.
I didn't have a big 18th party. Mum took me. That was a good birthday. Mum took me into Sunderland, and we went to a shop there called Joplin's. I'll tell you in a minute, Philip. And she turned around and says, "You can have anything you want for your lunch. You're 18, you can have anything you want." I says, "Anything?" She says, "Yep." I said, "Right." And I had king prawn starter, followed by, it was a lamb.
Wait, I didn't understand what you said.
King prawn starter.
Okay. What is that?
It's prawns in a, you might call it a prawn cocktail.
Okay.
After that, I had a lamb steak
I like that.
with mint sauce. I mean, lamb back then was dirt cheap, with mint sauce, mashed potatoes, green beans, and carrots. And then after that, the best part was a banana. I don't know what you'd call them. It's called a banana float. No, it's called a banana float over here. It's banana and ice cream.
Yeah.
And then she got me a glass. They had this place in there that was specifically designed. There was a glass blower, and he found out it was my 18th birthday, and he blew an 18th key at a glass, and that was me present.
Yeah.
That's my most memorable with family.
So Jonesy wants to know, what was your worst birthday?
No, Jonesy says don't ask.
I'm asking. He's basically teasing me to ask you.
Yeah, well, Philip wants to know what I got kicked out of the army for.
All right.
I got kicked out of the army for punching an officer, and they wouldn't send me. They wouldn't send me to jail because they kicked him out as well.
Why?
He gave me an order that I couldn't follow. And when I turned around and said, I want to go for general court-martial, the general knew me because I was his relief driver.
Yeah.
But this particular day, I was on normal duties, and I had Ed piss off. I was on normal duties, and I had 24 other people in my charge, and this officer wanted to be a hero, and I wasn't having it. And he tried to get me court-martial for it, and he lost his temper with me, so I just punched him. I broke his nose on this bridge of his mouth.
Good punch.
Oh, it was. I used to be in the boxing team.
Yeah.
But when I went up in front of the general, he turned around and says, look, Paul, he says, I've got a choice. I can kick you out where you don't get a disgraced reference, or I can kick you out where you will, and you'll have to go to jail. I says, I'll have to go to jail. He says, that's the choices I'm left with. But don't worry, he's finished. I said, in that case, kick me out.
Yeah.
What they didn't tell me, and I didn't find out until after I divorced the first time, was if I'd gone back the day after my divorce, I could have been returned to my rank in the army.
Really?
Yeah. Because that's was put in there. What was it the general said? This man saved 24 lives and cannot be punished for this. He's volunteered to take resignation on his own choice. So therefore, I was never punished for it. That officer, last I heard, was running a fruit and veg store and a market.
Now, is it true that once you serve in His Majesty's military, depending on the years that you serve, you get a stipend after you get out?
What do you mean stipend?
Well, do you receive any any kind of money from your country for serving in the military, or does it have to be a disability? Or let's say you serve 10 years, can you receive money for serving the 10 years for like the rest of your life?
No. You only get that when you reach retirement. Saying that, if you do serve your 22 years, if you serve the full 22 years, you don't have to wait until you're 60 to retire.
Right.
You get that as soon as you've retired. As soon as you leave after 22 years, you immediately get a retirement, a pension.
Okay.
Now, you can get part of your pension paid out in a lump sum, which is what I most people like myself wait until it's pension time, and we get a box to tick where you can either tick yes for a lump sum up front and then a smaller pension, or you can just get the same pension all the way through.
Okay.
Well, the way my bloody government was screwing around with army pensions, I took the big lump sum and then smaller pension.
Okay.
Because at the time I was struggling fighting through the system trying to get my disability. Whereas you've got the VA to do your fighting for you. We don't. We've got to go through different organizations, but they don't. So they won't tell you about those organizations. And Rhonda, thank you very much. Wish your daughter a happy birthday from all of us here.
Yeah. So let's go back to your worst birthday.
Worst birthday.
If your best birthday was being in the military and actually working that day, what is your worst birthday memory?
You know, I've had that many shit ones, I can't remember.
You've had so many shit ones.
I mean, since I was 40, I've never done anything special for my birthday.
Really?
Yeah. Saying that, I did fuck all for that either.
Was there any one gift that you can remember in your youth that you received on your birthday that you still remember to this day?
I got a joint present one year from my mum and dad because with it being so close to Christmas.
Wait, a what?
A joint birthday Christmas.
Oh, together. Okay, but we call a joint, something different over here.
Yeah. So do we. But you can get joint birthday and Christmas when your birthday's in December.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
wow, that is a beautiful picture of Lacey right there.
I know.
Man, she's a looker.
She doesn't want to know what I'm going to do with that image later.
This will be his happiest birthday.
That's going to be happy hour.
It'll be a happy ending birthday. That's gross, Paul. Quit.
I couldn't resist that.
So, okay, let's go to your best birthday present.
It was a push bike.
A what?
A push bike. Bicycle.
What's a push bike?
A bicycle. Pedal bike.
Oh, okay. You guys call them push bikes?
No, we call them bikes.
Okay. I didn't know there was different kinds.
Yeah. But when I was 16, I wanted my own bike that I didn't have to share with my brothers. So Dad took me to a shop. Pick your bike. What? Pick your bike. And I went straight over and I picked this racer. I says, that's the one I'd like. He says, that's the one you like, right? Piss off outside and wait with your mum. Well, I didn't know they did a thing called pay away. You could pay it off in so many weeks.
Okay, like a layaway program?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we went in October and they were asking what I wanted for my 16th. So he already had an idea it was going to cost him. I mean, this bike, it was back in 80. It was 340 quid.
Okay.
Now, for the same bike, it's 1,200 quid. It's that good, and the brand is still looked after.
Yeah.
It was called Rally.
Rally.
Yeah. So Dad turned around and he says, right, go and wait outside with your mum. He made a... Yeah, I didn't have to worry about pass downs, Philip. I was the oldest of 5. And Dad was a sergeant, but he'd been demoted again. So he was a corporal at the time. And he turned around and says, when I saw you, Mum, I'll have a word with the man. So he turned around and says, look, he says, I want that bike for me, boy. I need it on layaway. Do you do it? He says, you're military. He says, yep. He says, yes, we can do it. Is it coming out your pay at the office, or are you bringing it in? He says, the wife will be bringing it in every week. He says, right, fine. Sign him up, give him a card. And I've done the same thing for my kids when they wanted bikes. Never bought them a second-hand bike. Always got them from the shop. And we literally went on layaways. And that was the most memorable thing I can remember.
Mm.
Dad turned around and says, when you get that, leave my fucking bike in the shed, will you?
I see Lacey changed her picture.
Lacey, that's not fair. I'll use that one for a different function.
I will tell you that I was in the Balkans. I was deployed to Bosnia, and it was a year-long deployment, and I came home right before 4th of July for 7 days, back in the rear with the gear, back in Germany. And my son's birthday, because he was born on the 6th of July, my oldest son, we were living in Baumholder, Germany. And I took him to Ramstein Air Base, me and him. It was his birthday, on his birthday. And I went to the big PX on the air base. We went back there where all the bicycles were. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And we were looking at bikes and stuff, and he seen this mongoose bike. It was chrome. Everything on it was chrome. It had blue wheels, and it had like the pegs in the front and the back. It was like a trick bike, and all the kids in the housing area had one. He didn't have one. And he said, Dad, this is awesome. And we called the lady over there. And I said, he goes, but I don't want that kind of seat on it. I said, do you have other seats? And she goes, well, we sell them over here, but it doesn't come with the bike. So he went over there and he goes, yeah, that's the seat I want, Dad. Because it was black and it had like spider webs on it and stuff. And I said, oh, man. I said, that'd be great. I said, well, the lady was standing there and I said, well, happy birthday. And I said, well, take it. And he looked up at me and he goes, what? I said, happy birthday, son. And he goes, he looked at me and he said, "Did Mom say it was okay?" I said, "Okay for what? For you to buy it." And I go, and the lady laughed.
Do you know why your son asked that question?
He knew who was in charge.
Exactly. And he knew if she didn't say okay, it was okay, it would be going straight back.
I learned two things that day. Okay. Never surprise my kid ever again. And then I found out that I was not in charge of my own household. Those are the two lessons learned on that day. Yeah. He goes, "Did Mom say it was okay?" So, yeah, I remember that birthday for my son.
You had to listen to your son to remind you who's in charge of your house.
Yeah.
All you should have had to do was look at your bloody hand. I'm sure there was a wedding band on it.
Oh, really? Youngest daughter has her birthday on the 17th of December. She is always told that her friends, it's the 17th of November, so she could have a party. Yeah.
Because December, everyone is busy.
Yeah.
It continues to the next one.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
All it says is,
oh, yeah.
After that,
was busy.
Was too busy.
Yeah. Hey, Don Ray B. How are you doing, my friend?
Philip, it's not me, so piss off. Philip says, "We know who's in charge today, Mike."
Yeah.
Yes, we know who's in charge, and she's sitting in the sitting room.
But see, I willingly let her be in charge.
Bollocks. Every time you say that, I am going to call you on that crap.
You're not even in there now. She said, "This shit's getting deep." She goes, she went into the bedroom. Oh, are you still there? You're hiding?
No, she's not hiding. She's laughing. Don't forget, that woman makes your breakfast when we're finished.
No, I make the breakfast. She's still recuperating, and I make her whatever she wants. It may not turn out the way she would do it, but it's my own creation.
Yeah, your own creation. Do you know what I'm having when we finish? Scrambled eggs on toast.
Well, I'm thinking that we still have Thanksgiving ham left. We're having ham and eggs this morning for breakfast. And
Lacey,
the ham's still good.
Yeah. Lacey, that's debatable.
Hey, Lynn the Farm Oakie's in here. Welcome in.
Yes, I do love a good omelet.
Hello, Terry.
Hello, Don.
Hello, Don. Yeah. Well, I am a well-trained man.
That's right.
Okay. There's a
And
big
when Terry
difference.
lets the leech off, he knows how to behave.
There's a difference between whoosh and being a well-trained man.
Yes, Jason's still not well trained yet.
A well-trained man just gives the hell up and picks his own battles. Okay. And running the household is not a battle I want to mess with.
Do you know why I'm single? Because I refuse to be fucking trained.
There's nothing wrong with that. You live a happier life. Okay.
You didn't meet my second wife.
Well, You know,
I believe
no,
in
I
you.
have not. No, I have seen your second wife in a
Yes,
picture. I think I'm one of the only few people that's ever seen her.
you are.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you now, that woman was the devil incarnate. One is the 25th, one is the
Who's that?
19th, and the other is the
Oh.
11th. Yeah.
I
All
think my
siblings.
sister Debbie is born on, she was the firstborn. So her birthday's the 22nd. And she had to live with the whole birthday and Christmas too close together. And I had six sisters, no brothers. I do have a stepbrother, okay? And I didn't even know he existed till I met him in the Army in a place called Vilseck, Germany. He was a cook in the Army, and we met him because I was going down the serving line, and I seen a guy with the same last name as I got, and I go, "Oh man!" I said, "Where are you from?" And he was a private first class, and I was a sergeant. And he goes, Tupelo, Mississippi. I go, "Really?" I said, "My dad's buried there." He goes, "So is mine." And that's where the conversation started. And I never talked to him since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonesy's away.
Jody's what?
Jonesy has left.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was a kid, for your birthday, we got one present. You only got one. And I usually got a pair of sneakers, or some kind of clothes every freaking year for my birthday. I don't really remember. I remember one birthday, and I was like really young. I was 6 years old, and we were living. I was either 5 or 6. We were living in Rockford, Illinois. And we had to go back to Illinois for something from Arizona to Illinois because my dad's from Illinois, Wisconsin. All the family lives right there in the northern part. And I remember waking up and my mom and my dad were yelling at each other. And it got out of hand. And I remember my dad cursing, and he grabbed his suitcase and clothes and he left on my birthday. And I sat out on the curb outside the house, waiting for him to come back because it was my birthday.
Yeah.
He never came back, and I never seen him again. I never seen him again from that day forward. And I think it was 5 or 6. Well, I didn't see him again no, I did see him. But it was years later. He had come to pick me up, and I think we went somewhere to eat, and then we went to a laundromat, and he said, "Wait here." And I was looking out, and I was looking inside there, and my dad was kissing a redhead. And I never talked to him again after that day. So that was my worst birthday ever. That was my worst birthday ever. So, and then I found out later on I have a stepbrother down in Tupelo, Mississippi. Oh, really?
I think her dad might be Brad Paisley.
Brad Paisley. I'm pretty sure they're about the same age.
They're about the same height too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I mean, we showered my kids with gifts. I did it more out of guilt because I was gone all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was more of a guilt thing. And I think that bled over when they got older, where you're so used to doing that. Like Terrie calls me an enabler. Instead of holding their feet to the fire, I enabled them to do bad things or whatever. So, yeah, but I did it because I was always deployed. I was always gone. Oh, really?
That's what I call a good birthday present.
Yeah.
We can't have them over here. They took away our rights in the 70s.
Yeah. You know, and I think that the worst part of that is when I can only speak about guys. My need for attention from male figures, I attached myself to, like my Boy Scout leader. He was like, to me, he was like a god. He was a dad. He was a good husband. And it was just, that's his name was Victor Bang. And to this day, I can see his face. And he was the guy that I looked up to the most growing up. He even took me to a father.
I'm sure I've seen him in a few movies.
He took me on a father and son camping thing with his kid and me. And it was, you know, the first time I ever went hunting was with my brother-in-law, Doug. We went for a weekend up in the White Mountains, and we went hunting. We went fishing. We camped out. You know, those memories that you should be sharing with your dad, I sought that out through other people. So, and I told myself I would never, ever do that. And I think that's why I stayed in my first marriage so long, because I could not leave my children. It was one of those burning things. And I stayed 10, 15 years too long, but I couldn't leave my kids. And I stayed in a very
Tony's got to go.
Horrible marriage just because I couldn't leave my kids.
Tony has to go. He's got his PT now.
All right.
I will say this. My mother and father were saints.
Yeah.
We got hit when we needed it. Most of the time, my father wasn't there till I was 16. He was deployed. Like I say, our paras were like your Marines.
Yeah.
Usually the first one's in, last one's out. But my mother, God rest her soul, she brought us up. I had 4 brothers and a sister. The only reason I got the sister was because the youngest of the 4 brothers died at 6 months old.
Mm.
When Dad got back from deployment and found out that he'd lost the youngest, because they used to, all the mail that went out was checked by the Army admin office. It was checked. They didn't send Mum's letters telling him about my brother.
Yeah.
So they literally, when he got back, Mum told him she was going through a bad time, that we were actually split up and put in different places. I say eldest brother because he's the next one down from me. We were put into a youth hostel because there was no families that wanted to have somebody as old as we were. My youngest brother at the time, Gary, and the one I lost in January, Daryl, they were put with families because they were babies. And they turned around and said, when he got back, he came around looking for us all. I was just saying, China typing that. Have a good day, Tamara. They turned around, Dad found it, got us all back together, found out Mum was in a mental home. She'd had a breakdown. They put her on Valium and she got addicted to it. But she was still on Valium at the time.
Yeah.
And Dad literally went ballistic. He turned around and says, I'm away fighting for my country, and you couldn't even tell me my family was going apart. And the doctor turned around and told me, Dad, word for word, Dad never let us forget it. He turned around and says, your wife has got so much love in her for a baby, she needs another baby. When you take her home, fuck her brains out and make her pregnant. I mean, Dad says, I beg your pardon? He says, how do you feel about abortion? He says, you mention that word again, you'll be going out that fucking window.
Mm.
He says, so you don't agree with it? He says, if I get my wife pregnant, we have the baby. If I find out she's got medical problems, I'll go and get fixed. He says, the only problem she's got is in her head.
Yeah.
She has to go and have another child. And we got my sister. Dad only wanted a boy and a girl. He ended up with 4 boys and a girl, not including the youngest one, Glenn. But he raised 4 boys and a girl on his pension, on his wages.
Yeah.
When I put my old man into a home because he was suffering from dementia 5 years after we lost Mum. We actually lost both parents when we lost Mum, because he started going back to when he was in the army. The lights had gone out in his eyes. You didn't see the light that he always had for life, the spark he had.
Yeah.
And he started going back to the way it was. I started fearing for my sister and nephew that were living with him, because Dad wasn't just a para. He was an unarmed combat physical training instructor.
Right.
And one day she called me saying he did her. So I turns, I'll be round in a minute. You don't need to come round, it's all sorted. So I didn't go round. That was at 2 o'clock in the morning. I went round at 10 o'clock the following morning. She's flicking a bloody tea towel in his face. He's going blind and all he can see is these black things coming at his face. I wasn't putting up with that.
Yeah.
I put him in a home. It was the best thing for him. And I don't care if she never realizes. It was the best thing I could have done for her.
Yeah.
But since the day I put him in a home to the day he passed, she wouldn't speak to me or my brothers.
Right.
We've never spoken since. I don't care. She could pick up the phone tomorrow and say she needed help. I'd still go down.
Yeah.
And my brothers say, that's because you're fucking soft. I made him a promise before he left. If she needs anything, help her.
Yeah.
And I will do that. That's who I am.
Yep. So I went back to Wanda's thing. I did do, Terry and I have done a lot of genealogy work.
I prefer
for
Ginny in the
family
bottle.
trees, tracing stuff back. And then it was reinforced with us when I did my 23andMe DNA testing. And on the site, there's hundreds and hundreds of people that I don't know that are like, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh cousins and stuff like that have done or done the 23andMe thing. It did solidify our family tree as it went over to Europe and places like that. And it matched up good for what we did on genealogy work. I will tell you that my dad's side, Ireland, England, all that's up in there. And then from there over to Norway. And then my grandmother, my mom's side, the Joneses, they came from Wales. And then over in Germany and stuff like that, years after that. The hard part about genealogy is when you go back and they weren't like baptized or christened in a church, or they were somebody important, or something like that. I mean, the brakes just go on, because when you're just a normal peasant, you dying and there's no church records, because, churches got destroyed, records got destroyed over the years, the World War, the bombing of, England by the Germans, all kinds of stuff could happen, or the bombing or destruction over in Europe and Germany and stuff like that. You lose a lot of freaking information or trying to find out who you are. But when you do 23andMe on the DNA, it will tell you all the way back to, I can't remember what they call it. You're either one of two people from the matriarch or the patriarch side is your highest DNA. And from there it goes forward. And I think we found out that we picked the wrong sister down in Louisiana, because all of a sudden I have DNA that places me in the Congo. Okay.
Missionary.
No,
No,
African slave.
was not expecting that.
Because we weren't paying attention when we were looking at the family down in Louisiana, that we figured, hey, that's her right there. And we looked deeper into it, that he had a daughter that was registered in the house as free, but she was listed as black, even though she has just as much white in her as she did, because apparently he was breeding his slave women. But this one, and it said she was part of the household
Servants.
in there, but she was free, but it had a B as to be black. And so we didn't pick her. We picked the only white daughter he had. And that was the wrong pick. And then she in turn married a freed slave. And yeah, doing genealogy work will really screw your mind up when you're going through there, because there's so much stuff you have to take in consideration. But yeah, we did. If you ever want to find out where you come from, that 23andMe or Ancestry.com DNA, where they send you the tube and you spit in it to a certain level. Yeah, you find out a lot of your family stories may not be true.
Jamie, you mean he was a whore? He wouldn't let me type it, so I had to say it.
What's that?
Jamie says DNA was extensive, over 4,000 third cousins.
Yeah.
1500s night, Sir Robert Bell was a grandparent. The DNA Curiosity Incorporated Dad DNA has found 2 siblings so far. Dad was a traveling salesman. So I tried typing, you mean he was a whore, Jamie? And it wouldn't let it go through. Because I do not consider men that bang anything studs.
Yeah.
If a woman did it, she's a whore.
Yeah.
So is a fucking man that does it.
Yeah.
I don't care if his friends think he's a stud. They got the wrong parents.
I did find a second cousin. Her name is Kathleen, and she lives in Wichita Falls in Texas. I met her because I found out her dad was my grandfather's brother. So his siblings are the closest cousins on that side of my family. And he just passed away this month, the beginning of the month. He just passed away. But Kathleen and me, we were on Facebook together. And then I found my aunt on my dad's side, his sister. I found her on there also, and she's on my Facebook. So, I mean, it has a lot of goods and bads, and sometimes shocking if you ever do it, to find out who you are and where you came from. So,
Well, my grandfather, as in my mother's stepfather, was an absolute arsehole. He was that bad. He was a cook during the Second World War. He was a cook. the blokes in his own unit shot him in the arse.
Ah,
That's how bad he was, because he was a sergeant. And they turned around. After he got back, he was discharged. And he thought, well, he was literally running the home like an old barracks.
yeah.
He had me grand scared stiff half the time. He got that bad that when my dad met him, he took me mum home just after they started dating. Took me mum home, found out that my mother was literally a servant in his house.
Oh, really?
They were married in 6 weeks. She was living in army quarters, army accommodation in 7 weeks. And he took his clothes to me mum, telling her to iron them. And my dad turned around and says, "You've got exactly 30 seconds to fuck off home, and you can take your bastard washing with you before I throw you out the bloody window." And he turned around and says, "She's always done she's my wife, not your servant.
Yeah.
Get out."
Yeah.
Well, after me gran died, he decided to get married again, and he didn't marry somebody his own age. He married a young Jamaican.
Mm.
He moved to Jamaica and took the family Bible that wasn't his family. It was from Gran's first partner who died. Took the family Bible that was supposed to go to Mum. She was the only one in the family that was from his side. Left. Took the Bible to Jamaica and sold it for 12,000, whatever it is they've got over there.
Yeah.
His new wife spent the lot and divorced him. He came back to England, penniless. They put him in an old folks' home, and everybody wanted to know who was going to pay for him. The last one they asked, the home sent me mother a letter. "You owe £36,000 for your father's treatment and care." She sent a letter back. I don't know nothing for him. You can do what you fucking want with him. I'm not paying a price. My dad turned around and sent him a letter. "If you contact us anymore, my lawyer will be in touch. That arsehole is no longer, it wasn't welcome in our house for the last 40 years. He turned up when he wasn't welcome, stayed a weekend,
Yeah.
went back down south. The barman at the local pub, our regular, my dad warned him, do not let him put anything on tap because he won't pay for it and I'm not paying."
Yeah.
He spent £1,200 on beer and whiskey, expecting my dad to pay it. And when he left, he emptied my sister's piggy banks.
Hmm.
So when he died and they sent her the bill for the funeral, his funeral's next week. We've sent you the bill early to decide what I've told you. Nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
So they put him in a pauper's grave.
Mm.
And if you ask me, that was still too much for him.
Yeah.
He should have been burned like I'm getting and just thrown to the wind. I'm not having no headstone.
Why not?
Why do I want a headstone? Why do I need a headstone? I'm gone.
Okay.
I did the same thing for my brother in January.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've got his ashes in a box sitting right there.
Yeah.
because we haven't decided where we're going to scatter them yet. He didn't want his family, his ex-wife, getting hold of his ashes. And he didn't want his kids getting hold of the ashes. So we made me his, I don't know what they call it anymore.
I'm pretty sure your daughter's not going to let that happen.
Oh, she is.
Okay. That shows she's telling you to shut you up.
No. Wow, I just make it back and we're getting a headstone for Paul. No, we're not getting a headstone for Paul, Tina.
Hey, I'm going to do a GoFundMe. If anything happens to you, I'm going to do a GoFundMe, and we're going to build a big old crypt and have you inside there. Here lies Paul Honeyman.
And you better make sure I've got my finger.
Father, a son, and a real asshole.
No, just here lies Paul Honeyman. What an asshole. But I've already talked to my daughter, and she turned around and says, do you mind if I use some of your ashes before I scatter them? I said, what do you mean? She says, well, you can get ashes turned into jewelry.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah.
The nut the shell finally cracked.
Well, guys, we've been on here for about 2 hours wishing Paul Honeyman a happy birthday. You probably learned more than you really ever wanted to know, but we don't care.
And Mike still didn't answer the
Knowledge is
question.
king. Knowledge is king. And now when you see him in the chats and stuff, you know a little bit more about Paul Honeyman. Okay? And I promise, Paul, we won't do this again for a year.
The only thing you need to know about me is I'm an old fucker that doesn't give a fuck.
There you go. And he's doing coke right now. All right.
And I'm doing coke.
Yeah. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming in here, wishing my co-host, my partner, my brother, Paul, a happy birthday. If you see him in other chats, mention it today. I know, are you going to be on with David tonight? Is David even going live? I know he's having a problem.
David said he was going live on not before the 3rd. The 3rd is Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay.
But I don't know if David's going to be going live because he's had complications.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming in. Always.
If they do that, they can do it in the States. They can put a little target on there and say, Paul Honeyman's butt. And you can all shoot at the bloody thing.
There you go. But guys, I want to thank you for coming in. Remember, Paul and I go live every Monday and Friday at 8:30 in the morning Central Standard Time. So please join us on Friday. We'll have something else to talk about. For sure, we'll have something to talk about. And remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need, and always think of that. Guys, we love you. God bless you. Hey, downtown Cindy Brown.
Yep, that's my sister.
There you go.
Thanks very much.
Guys, we love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Mimi Susan.
Mimi Susan.
I pray you all have a fantastic week.